Yo, y'all aren't ready for this one. Hot boy Turk has officially lost it, and the streets are talking. After being kicked out of the legendary Hot Boys and pulled off the tour, Turk is going off on BG, Juvenile, and Birdman like we've never seen before. Fans are saying it's the biggest betrayal in hip-hop history, and social media is exploding with clips, reactions, and heated debates. Why did it happen? What led to this explosive fallout that's sending shockwaves through New Orleans and beyond? Turk isn't holding back, calling out every single player involved and exposing behind-the-scenes drama that nobody saw coming. This isn't just a tour issue. This is a clash of loyalty, fame, and respect, and everyone in the hip-hop world is watching closely. From old friendships turned sour to new alliances forming in the shadows, this story has everything: betrayal, anger, and shocking revelations. People thought the Hot Boys were untouchable, but this drama proves that even legends can clash when money, power, and pride are on the line. In this video, we're breaking down every single moment, every text, every subtle clapback, every reason Turk went off the rails. You'll hear exactly what he said, how BG and Juvenile reacted, and why Birdman might have played a bigger role than anyone realizes. Trust me, you do not want to miss this. Get ready, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why the streets are buzzing and why Hot Boy Turk's anger could change the game forever. The streets were already buzzing, but nothing prepared fans for the storm that erupted after Hot Boy Turk was reportedly kicked out of the Hot Boys and removed from their ongoing tour. What seemed like a simple dispute behind the scenes quickly escalated into a full-blown confrontation, and the hip-hop world was left scrambling to make sense of it. Sources close to the group revealed that tensions had been simmering for months, fueled by disagreements over money, creative direction, and loyalty, a trifecta that often ignites the fiercest conflicts in music history. Hot Boy Turk, who has been a cornerstone of the Hot Boys' legacy, found himself at odds with BG and Juvenile, longtime friends and collaborators. Friends who once shared stages and studio sessions were suddenly caught in the crossfire of what many are calling one of the most shocking breakdowns in recent hip-hop history. While details are still emerging, insiders suggest that the disagreement started over tour revenue and distribution of proceeds. Turk felt marginalized, claiming that despite his contributions to the group's success, he was being treated unfairly and left out of major decisions. But the tension wasn't just financial. It cut deeper, touching on respect and recognition. In the hip-hop world, respect often carries as much weight as money, if not more. For Turk, being excluded from critical conversations and stripped of his role on the tour felt like a personal attack. Social media lit up instantly, with fans debating who was at fault and dissecting every move and statement from the artists involved. Screenshots of heated text exchanges began circulating, painting a picture of long-standing grievances and a breaking point that had finally been reached. Adding fuel to the fire was the involvement of Birdman, who some insiders claim played a significant role in the fallout. Known for his influence over cash money-affiliated artists and for managing careers behind the scenes, Birdman's decisions may have inadvertently or intentionally sidelined Turk. Fans speculated that this move wasn't just about the tour but reflected deeper tensions within the network of alliances in the hip-hop industry. Questions arose about loyalty, favoritism, and power dynamics, leaving fans questioning whether the Hot Boys as a group could survive this public spectacle. Amidst this chaos, Hot Boy Turk made it clear that he was not going down quietly. Sources report that Turk unleashed a series of confrontational statements, both in private messages to group members and in public forums, expressing his frustration and anger. He accused BG and Juvenile of betrayal, citing years of camaraderie that had now been overshadowed by business disputes. The tone was unmistakably serious. This was no casual argument, but a calculated release of pent-up emotion aimed at exposing the truth from Turk's perspective. Fans reacted in real time, flooding social media with hashtags, commentary, and heated debates. Clips of Turk speaking candidly about his grievances began trending, with viewers dissecting every word. Some sympathized with Turk, praising him for standing his ground and refusing to be sidelined, while others defended BG and Juvenile, arguing that group dynamics and financial decisions are complicated and require difficult compromises. The narrative quickly became polarized, showing just how invested the public is in the personal and professional lives of hip-hop icons. Industry analysts weighed in, noting that such conflicts are not uncommon in the music business, but rarely play out so publicly. The combination of historical reputation, legacy stakes, and the modern social media landscape has turned what might have been an internal issue into a spectacle that impacts careers, brand value, and fan perception. Experts suggest that how Turk navigates this moment could define his career trajectory, either solidifying him as a force to be reckoned with or isolating him from key industry allies. Meanwhile, other members of the Hot Boys and affiliated artists were reportedly attempting to mediate the situation behind the scenes. Attempts at reconciliation were complicated by mistrust and lingering resentment. According to insiders, the atmosphere during meetings was tense, with emotions running high and tempers flaring. Any small misstep risked escalating the conflict further, and both sides were reportedly on edge, aware that their every move could be scrutinized and misinterpreted by the public and media. As this drama unfolded, fans noticed subtle changes in the group's dynamics. Social media posts became cryptic, concert appearances were delayed, and collaborative projects seemed to stall. Each development added layers to the narrative, leaving the public desperate for clarity. Music industry commentators noted that while this type of internal conflict is expected over time, the speed and intensity with which it exploded publicly were unprecedented for the Hot Boys. Hot Boy Turk, for his part, made it clear that he was reclaiming his voice. In interviews and online statements, he emphasized that he had contributed significantly to the group's legacy and refused to allow his efforts to be overshadowed. His words resonated with fans who value authenticity and loyalty, reinforcing his image as an artist who refuses to compromise his principles, even in the face of adversity. As reports continued to emerge, it became evident that this was more than a disagreement over logistics or money. It was a clash of personalities, pride, and long-held expectations. Each party involved had invested years in building their careers and reputations, and the fallout threatened to unravel decades of collaboration. Fans were left questioning whether the Hot Boys could ever reunite in the same form, or if this conflict marked the end of an era. One striking aspect of this drama is how quickly it spread across platforms. Clips, screenshots, and leaks circulated at an astonishing pace, fueling speculation and rumors. Analysts suggest that in today's digital age, internal conflicts in music groups cannot remain private for long. Every move, every statement, every social media post is scrutinized, often amplifying tensions and complicating resolutions. For Turk, this reality has become a double-edged sword, a platform to voice his side, but also a magnifying glass under which every word is judged. As the dust settled temporarily, the impact of Turk's statements began to ripple across the industry. Collaborators, fans, and rival artists took notice, with some expressing solidarity while others criticized his approach. The dialogue sparked a broader conversation about fairness, respect, and hierarchy within hip-hop groups, highlighting issues that extend beyond just one tour or one artist. Looking ahead, the question remains, what's next for Hot Boy Turk and the Hot Boys? Will reconciliation be possible, or has the damage become irreparable? For now, fans are left glued to updates, analyzing every development and forming opinions about who is right, who is wrong, and how this conflict will reshape the landscape of New Orleans hip-hop. In summary, the fallout from Hot Boy Turk being kicked out of the Hot Boys and the tour is multi-layered, involving financial disputes, personal grievances, loyalty questions, and public perception. It's a drama that has captivated fans, challenged industry norms, and demonstrated the intense pressures that even legendary artists face in maintaining unity and success. The next chapter in this saga promises to reveal more about the personalities involved and the consequences that come with standing your ground in the cutthroat world of hip-hop. As the dust from the initial storm began to settle, it became clear that Hot Boy Turk's ousting from the Hot Boys and the tour was far from a simple disagreement. It was a powder keg waiting to explode. Hot Boy Turk didn't just remain silent after being sidelined. Sources confirmed that he reached out directly to fans through social media, providing his side of the story and calling out BG, Juvenile, and Birdman for their decisions. In raw, unfiltered posts, Turk described feeling betrayed by people he considered family, highlighting the emotional toll the situation was taking. For fans who had watched the Hot Boys rise to fame from New Orleans streets to international stages, Turk's statements were jarring. They revealed cracks in a group that once appeared unshakable. The response from BG and Juvenile was almost immediate. While neither artist went fully public with their rebuttal initially, insiders suggest that private discussions and selective statements made through trusted intermediaries were intended to defend their side. They emphasized that the decision to remove Turk was not personal but a business decision related to group logistics and tour management. However, in the court of public opinion, this explanation didn't sit well. Fans were split. Some sympathized with Turk's emotional stance, while others sided with BG and Juvenile, believing that tough decisions are sometimes necessary to keep a group functioning. Birdman, who oversees much of the business side of Cash Money-affiliated acts, became an unexpected focal point. Rumors circulated that he had a hand in the decision to cut Turk from the tour, either as a mediator attempting to stabilize the group or as an enforcer of internal hierarchies. Social media users speculated endlessly about Birdman's motives, dissecting his past actions and business dealings. Some suggested that Turk's removal was about power and control, a stark reminder of how behind-the-scenes influence can make or break artists' careers in the hip-hop industry. Meanwhile, the online community exploded with commentary. Tweets, Instagram posts, and TikTok clips chronicled every development, making the saga impossible to ignore. Fans who had grown up listening to Hot Boy Turk, BG, and Juvenile debated the merits of loyalty versus business pragmatism, while older hip-hop heads reminisced about the group's golden era. Every leaked clip, screenshot, or cryptic post added layers to the unfolding narrative, showing just how intensely the public consumes drama in real time. Adding fuel to the fire, reports emerged that Turk had recorded several unreleased tracks addressing the situation. These songs reportedly contain pointed references to BG and Juvenile, highlighting perceived betrayals and the personal pain Turk felt. While the tracks had not been officially released, snippets leaked online, instantly going viral. Fans and commentators dissected lyrics line by line, attempting to decode hidden messages and understand the full scope of the conflict. Industry insiders noted that Turk's decision to use music as a platform for retaliation was classic hip-hop strategy: turn personal grievances into art and let the public decide who is right. The tour itself faced significant disruptions. Dates were postponed or canceled, with promoters struggling to manage fan backlash and internal group discord. Venues received inquiries from concerned fans, media outlets reported on the turmoil, and sponsors grew wary of associating with a project mired in controversy. In essence, the entire Hot Boys brand experienced turbulence, demonstrating how a single conflict can reverberate far beyond interpersonal relationships. Despite the tension, there were also attempts at reconciliation behind the scenes. Trusted friends and industry veterans reportedly reached out to mediate, urging all parties to consider the long-term impact of the feud. Some meetings reportedly took place in private, aiming to bridge gaps and remind Turk, BG, Juvenile, and Birdman of the group's shared history and achievements. However, emotions ran high, and each side remained wary, making progress slow and uncertain. Hot Boy Turk, meanwhile, remained vocal and unapologetic. In interviews with small media outlets and live stream sessions, he continued to defend his position, framing his exclusion as a breach of trust and respect. He emphasized that while he loved the Hot Boys and the legacy they built together, he would not allow himself to be sidelined without speaking out. This stance resonated with a segment of fans, especially those who value authenticity, resilience, and the courage to confront betrayal head-on. BG and Juvenile, on the other hand, navigated a delicate balancing act. Publicly, they aimed to maintain the group's image and protect their own reputations, while privately addressing the fallout with Turk. Statements issued through intermediaries highlighted their commitment to professionalism and the group's continued success, but the subtext was clear. The relationships had been strained, and trust had been fractured. As the saga unfolded, analysts pointed out the broader implications for hip-hop culture. The conflict between Turk, BG, Juvenile, and Birdman is emblematic of larger themes in the music industry: loyalty versus business interests, personal relationships versus professional obligations, and the pressures of legacy versus modern commercial expectations. Fans are watching closely, not just for the drama, but for insights into how artists navigate these complex dynamics. Meanwhile, rumors of additional diss tracks, behind-the-scenes recordings, and potential legal disputes began to circulate. Sources suggested that management teams were reviewing contracts, tour agreements, and recording credits to determine the full scope of the fallout. The possibility of litigation added a layer of seriousness, showing that what started as personal disagreements could have tangible financial and career consequences. In Harlem and New Orleans alike, fans debated what this meant for the future of the Hot Boys. Could the group recover from such a public rift? Or was this the beginning of a permanent split? Social media polls, live streams, and discussion threads reflected intense engagement, with fans passionately weighing in, reflecting both nostalgia for the group's earlier days and concern about the current state of affairs. As the dust continued to settle, one thing was certain: Hot Boy Turk's voice was now a central force in the narrative. His willingness to speak openly, confront perceived wrongs, and use music as a platform for his message ensured that the conflict would remain a defining story in hip-hop circles for months to come. Whether reconciliation occurs or the feud deepens, fans are witnessing a moment that combines music, personal rivalry, and public spectacle in a way that few events in hip-hop history have managed. The saga of Hot Boy Turk, BG, Juvenile, and Birdman underscores the delicate balance artists must maintain between friendship, loyalty, and business. Every decision, every statement, and every action is magnified under the public eye, reminding us that in the world of hip-hop, the personal is always public, and the stakes are higher than ever. The fallout from Hot Boy Turk's explosive confrontation with BG, Juvenile, and Birdman continued to dominate headlines and social media threads, making it clear that this saga was far from over. While Part 2 covered the fan reactions, leaked tracks, and behind-the-scenes tensions, the final chapter explores the climax of the conflict, potential resolutions, and the lasting impact on the Hot Boys' legacy. As the drama intensified, rumors of a face-to-face confrontation began circulating. Some insiders hinted that Turk and the group were preparing to meet in a neutral location, perhaps to negotiate terms, clear the air, or confront unresolved grievances. The idea of such a meeting sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community. Fans speculated endlessly. Would this be a reconciliation, or the final explosive showdown? The tension was palpable, and the anticipation only fueled social media chatter, making every post and story a viral event. Meanwhile, Turk's new diss tracks continued to spread online, each one dissected for hidden references and subtle jabs. One song, in particular, contained lines hinting at financial disputes, alleged broken promises, and the emotional betrayal Turk felt after being ousted. The energy in these tracks was raw, emotional, and unfiltered, reminding fans why Turk's voice has always carried weight in the hip-hop world. Music critics weighed in, noting that while some verses were pointed and aggressive, they were also clever, showcasing Turk's lyrical skill and ability to turn personal conflict into compelling art. BG and Juvenile responded strategically, carefully crafting statements that balanced professionalism with hints of defense. Interviews with select media outlets emphasized the challenges of group dynamics, tour management, and the pressures of maintaining the Hot Boys brand. While they avoided direct confrontations, fans could detect the subtle nuances in their words, reading between the lines to interpret the underlying tensions. Birdman, for his part, remained the enigmatic figure behind the scenes. Industry insiders confirmed he was actively mediating and trying to ensure that any public fallout did not escalate into legal or financial disaster. As this public chess game unfolded, the tour schedule faced significant disruptions. Several dates were postponed, and promoters scrambled to address both logistical challenges and fan backlash. The situation served as a stark reminder of how personal disputes can ripple outward, affecting entire networks of people, from crew members to concert-goers, sponsors, and media partners. Fans attending postponed shows expressed frustration, yet the controversy also amplified interest, drawing new audiences curious to witness the unfolding drama firsthand. Behind the scenes, attempts at reconciliation were ongoing. Trusted intermediaries, longtime friends, and music industry veterans worked tirelessly to mediate. Meetings were reportedly tense, with heated discussions punctuated by moments of reflection and reminders of the group's shared history. Sources suggest that while full resolution remained elusive, the dialogue itself represented a critical first step toward potential reconciliation. Both sides recognized the high stakes. The Hot Boys' legacy, fan loyalty, and personal reputations were all on the line. The social media landscape played an enormous role in shaping perceptions. Platforms like Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok became battlegrounds where fans, critics, and commentators debated every move. Memes, live reactions, and fan edits amplified key moments, ensuring the feud remained in the public eye. Some fans rallied behind Turk, praising his courage to speak out and defend his place in hip-hop history. Others supported BG, Juvenile, and Birdman, emphasizing the need for professionalism and group cohesion over personal grievances. This polarized reaction highlighted the modern reality of celebrity drama. The audience is both a witness and an active participant. Financial implications also emerged as a critical factor. Legal teams began reviewing contracts related to tour commitments, group earnings, and potential royalty disputes. Sources indicated that Turk, BG, and Juvenile all sought to protect their financial interests while navigating the emotional fallout. The possibility of lawsuits added another layer of intensity to the saga, showing that personal disputes in the music industry often carry real-world consequences beyond social media reactions. By midweek, leaks suggested that the artists were preparing a joint statement. While details remained confidential, the message appeared aimed at preserving the Hot Boys brand, reassuring fans, and hinting at potential future collaborations. Whether this indicated true reconciliation or simply damage control, the announcement sparked excitement and speculation. Fans hoped that the legendary group could overcome its internal struggles, yet skepticism remained high given the severity of the conflict. In the music itself, Turk's lyrical barbs remained sharp, but some tracks hinted at reflection and personal growth. Observers noted that while anger fueled the initial outbursts, there were subtle moments of introspection, suggesting that Turk recognized both his own role in the conflict and the potential for healing. Similarly, BG and Juvenile's carefully worded interviews reflected a desire to maintain professionalism while addressing emotional truths. The interplay between raw emotion and calculated messaging became a defining feature of this chapter. As the final week unfolded, social media speculation, media coverage, and fan engagement reached new heights. Music platforms reported spikes in streams of Turk songs, while classic Hot Boys tracks re-entered trending charts. Analysts attributed this resurgence not just to nostalgia, but to the public's fascination with conflict and resolution narratives. The saga demonstrated how deeply intertwined personal dynamics and commercial success are in the modern hip-hop industry. Ultimately, the Hot Boy Turk vs. BG, Juvenile, and Birdman saga stands as a case study in loyalty, betrayal, and resilience within the music world. While the conflict may have fractured relationships temporarily, it also reminded fans of the human side of artists, the emotions, stakes, and complexities that shape their lives. Whether reconciliation fully occurs or not, the story has cemented itself in hip-hop lore, leaving a lasting impact on the group, the fans, and the broader industry. Fans now watch closely, hoping for signs of unity, new collaborations, or simply updates on the fallout. Meanwhile, Turk's message remains loud and clear. Standing up for oneself, even against the odds, is an essential part of hip-hop's legacy. BG, Juvenile, and Birdman's responses, coupled with the ongoing negotiations behind the scenes, illustrate the delicate balance between personal loyalty, professional ambition, and public perception. As the dust begins to settle, one thing is undeniable. This chapter of the Hot Boys story will be remembered not just for the conflict, but for the transparency, drama, and cultural impact it created. It serves as a reminder that in hip-hop, The line between art and life is razor thin, and every move, word, and track carries the potential to echo through history. The saga may have reached its narrative climax, but the conversation is far from over. Fans, artists, and industry watchers alike will continue to dissect every detail, debate motives, and speculate on what comes next. In the meantime, Hot Boy Turk's voice, the group's legacy, and the drama surrounding BG, Juvenile, and Birdman will remain at the center of one of the most riveting stories in modern hip-hop history.